Welcome back everyone. The 11.11 sale is literally days away. I think less than 48 hours now. So of course you can go in there and you can make all the purchases you want for quite a bit of money, or you can make some calculated decisions and actually really look for those value buys. So today I want to recommend 11 diver watches. Now I own all of these watches. I have comprehensively reviewed all of them and I want to show you these items. Some of them are new, some of them have been around for a number of years, but they are almost icons on AliExpress due to their quality and the value they bring. Now the links to all of the listings I will be going through today will be in the description below the video, so do check them out if you're after some sharp prices. And now let's dive in and talk about these 11 watches in detail. The SN0017 is technically the entry-level watch to one of AliExpress's elite micro brands. My expectations were high, especially after forking out $130. Thankfully, these expectations were exceeded with ease. The SN17 was my first Sanmartin, and definitely not the last. Since then, I've gotten quite a few, and every single one surprised and shocked me with the great refinement, luminosity and quality control. But back to the SN0017. The quality control issues we face at the $50, $60, $70 mark simply don't exist here. The case finish is refinement with a capital R. This is the 40mm Ghost Diver version 3 powered by Seiko NH35 automatic movement. It gets a water resistance of 200 meters, sapphire crystal. There are 3 color variations available, this black and a Kermit and Hulk homages. In the hand it feels hefty and larger than it wears. With a 40mm diameter and a lug-to-lug length of 48mm, it should fit even the slender wrists. The hexagon logo on the black enamel dial and screw-down crown look very classy. Now mind you, this is an enamel dial, something that you shouldn't and wouldn't be expecting at $130, $150, or basically anywhere under $200. On the underside, the screw-down case back is fluted in line with a traditional look. The case and bracelet are stainless steel. The bracelet actually features a signed and milled folding clasp with a safety latch and 4 micro adjustments. So potentially one of the best $130 I've spent on a watch. For number 2, talk about the Addiesdive MY-H3. Firstly, the price. On sale you can pick it up as low as $52, and that's the link to the listing that I've offered below in the description. But usually you can go for $55. Still very much affordable. We get a fully 316L stainless steel construction. In fact, it's a seriously hefty diver, standing at 190 grams without any links removed. The case has ideal proportions, with case width of just 43mm and a lug-to-lug length of 47mm. The weight is mostly attributed to the meaty steel bracelet. The watch is powered by Seiko's NH35 automatic movement. That means it's hackable and gets a 42-hour power reserve. The dial is covered by a flat slab of sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating. Under the crystal is where most of the magic happens. The white textured dial is inspired by the omiwitari phenomenon, essentially the appearance of ridges or lines that form on the ice covering Lake Suwa in Japan. This phenomenon is described by legends of gods walking across the lake, hence the name omiwitari, which actually translates to God's Crossing. We get bright and long-lasting dual-tone lume, and what surprised me is the very precise and consistent 120-click unidirectional bezel. There's hardly any backplay here. So it is $52 while we're in the June sales, otherwise you'll be paying around the $55 mark. At number 3 we have the AD2101, priced at $85. It's an automatic. It gets 200 meters of water resistance, and it's a Frankenstein of sorts, not the Franken watch, which would entail physical parts from various watch brands and models. Rather, this is a timepiece that takes the retro styling cues from at least 4 iconic brands, and creates a retro fusion which is exciting and compelling. See the cushion flanks? Well, these are actually reminiscent of the vintage Tudors of the 1940s and 50s. The larger than average 7mm screw and crown, signed and unguarded on a diver takes us back to the retro Rolex divers. My favorite elements are the elegantly twisted lugs, so familiar from the retro and contemporary Omega Speedmasters. To emphasize the vintage look and feel, we also get double dome sapphire crystal. With regards to the dimensions, we have a diameter of 40mm, a lug-to-lug length of 52.4mm, a height of 13mm, a lug width of 20mm, and a weight of 165 grams. The lug-to-lug length is large due to the protruding end links, yet it's not excessive, and the aggressive slant downwards of the lugs makes the watch wearable with no overhang even on my 6.5-inch wrist. For number 4, let's take a look at a super diver watch. So this is the Addiesdive MY-H6 and it costs just $70. Even if this wasn't a super diver, it would still bring tons and tons of value. But it is, and that is good. Firstly, it's powered by a Japanese self-winding automatic, the NH35, like all of the 5 watches that we have in front of us here today, offering 24 joules, 21,600 beats per hour, and 42 hours of power reserve. It features a perfectly circular design. The lugs are positioned under the case, and the substantial 22mm stainless steel bracelet pivots straight down, meaning that even the slender wrists are catered for. In regards to dimensions, 46mm is the diameter, which is equivalent to the lug-to-lug distance because, again, the lugs are under the case. We get a height of 13.8mm, a lug width of 22mm, and a weight of 215 grams. The sapphire crystal on here is 3.6mm thick. The 120 click unidirectional bezel is grippy, the bezel action is heavy with minimal backplay. Even the sound is assertive and slightly muted, resembling the distinct clicks of a safe code. Another key point is that the bezel is loomed. Together with the dial elements, the chili blue luminosity pattern is quite striking. Addiesdive is known for its bright and long-lasting lume, and it doesn't disappoint here either. The 7.5mm in diameter screw and crown is signed and positioned at 4 o'clock. The case back is screwed down, of course, and on the left of the case we get the helium escape valve. This is a 1000-meter water-resistant watch. At number 5, let's talk about the $35 Addiesdive MY-H3. This is the cheapest watch in this collection. Could this be the perfect all-day and everyday wearer? Definitely, considering the robust sizing, premium looks, and importantly, quality components. With regards to the dimensions, we get a diameter of 41mm, a height of 13.2mm, a lug-to-lug length of 49mm, and a lug width of 20mm. The weight on this stainless steel bracelet is 135 grams. We don't actually get sapphire crystal here, it's just mineral crystal, but that is sort of expected at this super budget price point. Yet we do get anti-reflective coating. The stainless steel case and bracelet are brushed as expected on Addiesdive watches. We have a screw and crown and a screw down case back. The steel bezel has a loomed ceramic insert. The bezel action is decent, the movement is fluid enough with sufficient weight. The luminosity is another thing that Addiesdive is famous for, and here it's no different. Actually, it's superb. The brightness and longevity are really good. The dual pattern on the dial and the bezel looks great. And again, all this for $35. For number 6, we have the Buty Titanium Diver, starting at $130 and slightly more for bronze cases. This titanium diver has so many premium features which equate the watch to something special. Firstly, this is an own design. Secondly, it's offered in titanium, like this piece, or in bronze. Usually a watch with this level of refinement and awesome visuals would charge at least that for stainless steel. Yet here, for the $130, we are getting titanium. This is an automatic, powered by Seiko NH35, a self-winding 24 joules, 21,600 beats per hour, and 42 hours of power reserve movement. We also get a signed screw and crown and a screw down case back. Sapphire crystal as a matter of course as well. With regards to the dimensions, we get a diameter of 41mm, a lug-to-lug length of 47.4mm, a height of 11.8, and a lug width of 20mm. The black ceramic insert is polished to glass-like gloss. The white 0 to 60-minute numerals are actually loomed, adding a chilly blue hue to the formidable luminosity of the hands, indices, and the honeycomb pattern of the dial. For number 7, we have the Steeldive SD1953. There are plenty of colors available. This Steeldive turquoise diver doesn't just aim to mimic its prestigious counterpart, it aims to democratize the premium watch experience. It boasts a stainless steel case and bracelet, a sapphire crystal face resistant to the scuffs of daily wear, and a dependable, self-winding automatic movement. All these features are often reserved for watches with much heftier price tags. The true charm of this watch, however, lies in its stunning turquoise sunburst dial and a sky blue ceramic bezel, evoking images of clear skies and crystalline waters. Wearing this watch conjures summer vibes, reminiscent of leisurely beach walks and refreshing dips in the sea, a perfect companion for the season. With regards to the dimensions, we get a diameter of 40.5mm, a lug-to-lug length of 53mm due to the protruding male end links, a height of 13mm without the cyclops and 14.2 with it, a lug width of 20mm tapering down to 16 at the clasp. The weight is 170 grams before removing any links to fit my 6.5-inch wrist. Considering the largish lug-to-lug length, I still find the watch comfortable on my rather slender wrist. As I gaze down, the bright and at the same time contained turquoise blue brings a smile to my dial. It's a positive type of watch, most definitely. The Hruodland Retro Sharkmaster 300 is a self-winding automatic powered by NH35. It transpires the air of that retro diver feel. The suede stitched leather straps are befitting that look as well. We also get 200 meters of water resistance. The boxy mineral crystal protrudes a slight bit above the bezel for that retro look, but not too high, and keeps the overall watch height manageable at just 13mm. With regards to the dimensions, we get a diameter of 41.7mm, a lug-to-lug length of 48.2mm, a weight of just 80 grams on this suede strap, and a lug width of 20mm. The watch looks just right and at home on this leather strap, although I can see it just as well on a canvas strap. The warmth of the caramel brown is both nostalgic and refreshingly modern, making it versatile enough to complement both casual and more formal attire. If we take a look at the piece side on, the watch presents us with a sandwich look, 4 distinct layers: the case back lip, the elegant and arching flank, twisting outwards at the lugs for that vintage Omega style twist, and the upper layers of the bezel. We have the Sanmartin SN0017. It aims for the skies with this Benrus Type 1 homage, an understated look for the purists at heart, a rock-solid construction, bead-blasted 316L stainless steel case, the double-dome sapphire crystal with layers upon layers of anti-reflective treatment, 200 meters of water resistance, fit for the military diver heritage of this inspired design, powered by a dependable and robust Japanese automatic movement. This watch is not a shiny prize watch. It's a tool, a time-telling instrument in any condition. Be it day or night, the luminosity on the dial and the bezel is breathtaking. The chilly blue is bright and lasts the night with ease. The bezel diameter is 41mm, while the case width is 44mm. This is a one-piece thick steel case with double dome sapphire glass, ensuring no distortions hinder the legibility on the dial. At number 10, we've got the Pagani design YS005 version 3 with no date. This is an automatic 200-meter water-resistant diver watch, which gathers its inspiration from the Omega heritage diver. It's a homage to the Seamaster 300. Thankfully, the version 3 we've got in front of us today omits the date window, just the symmetrical open dial that is balanced and perfect as it is. Notice the ceramic bezel. It's thin yet notchy, drawing close to the case, while the boxy sapphire crystal is pronounced just a millimeter above it. The dome of the crystal is minimal, and the elegantly protruding glass above the bezel does not inspire a vintage look, rather it's sporty and assertive. With regards to the dimensions, we get a diameter of 40.8mm, a lug-to-lug length of 47.7mm, a height of 12.7, and a lug width of 20mm, tapering down to 18 at the clasp. Without removing any links, we get a weight of 160 grams. The renders on AliExpress listings do not do this timepiece justice. The visual appeal of this watch is so distinctive. The deep blue is rich and saturated, not the loud and obtrusive blue, but a rich and intriguing hue, further emphasized by the matte dial and lacquered look of the ceramic bezel insert. The Steeldive SD1970. This turtle-style timepiece is almost iconic for AliExpress. 200 meters of water resistance, sapphire crystal, 120 click unidirectional bezel, a sine screw and crown, and a screw-down case back. It's offered in 3 colors, this blue, green, and black. The dimensions on this watch are really good, and this sort of warrants the thousands and thousands of sales that were made of this watch on AliExpress. In regards to the dimensions, we get a case width of 43.5 millimeters, a height of 13.4 millimeters, a lug-to-lug length of 48 millimeters, a lug width of 20 millimeters, and a weight of 180 grams, without removing any of the links to fit my 6.5-inch wrist. The polished flanks are folding under the case, and that looks seamless. The lug hoods are radially brushed, fine strokes for a clean and refined look. The coinage of the unidirectional bezel is convenient to grip, minimal backplay and heavy resistance. These feel precise and secure. The blue hue is on the bezel, the slanting rehaut, as well as the sunburst dial. Notice the date window at 3 o'clock. This really expands the use cases for the watch. As for the luminosity, performance in terms of brightness and longevity is up there. Additionally, the pattern of loomed elements on the dial and bezel are stunning. The chili blue on the outer ring with the warm green glow on the dial. Powered by an automatic NH35 featuring 24 joules, 21,600 beats per hour for $65, this is a bargain. So there we have it. 11 diver watches that I can recommend because I think they bring most value to us for the buck. And we're looking at watches that don't cost that much. We're talking about $50 to about $130, $140 mark. So this is pretty much the budget sector. And whether you're new to the horology hobby or a seasoned collector, these watches, as you can see, do bring value because this is what this channel is all about. Now, the links to the listings of all of these watches are in the description below the video, so do check them out if you're after some sharp prices. Now, of course, these are affiliate links, meaning that if you do make a qualified purchase, I will get some kickback from AliExpress. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps me get commission so I can buy more watches in and review for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.